Hi guys, just wanted to give you like a little view of my sewing area here. I actually work in the hall, and I have my little light there and my clutter there, so it's the only like really quiet spot that I have. And I like my little two birds because that's supposed to be good feng shui. So we will go forward on my next project. Hi guys, Maggie here. I'm sitting at my sewing table. As you can see, the finishes. I have like an antique sewing table. I'll have to show it to you in a little more detail at some point. But of course the surface is like not great. But what I'm doing now is I'm trimming this seam allowance on my skirt down to 1/4 of an inch. Just so it'll fold it, fold in neater. I do have to add the straps, but I'm going to just go ahead and trim the seam allowance now, and I'm going to be adding the straps, so I don't think I have to wait, so we'll just do that. So I wanted to do that on at least trying to show everything on camera that I'm doing with this skirt. Now, if this was a curve or anything, I would do a little bit of clipping, but I don't think I need to do that. If I'm just do this, trim it down. And it's easier to work from this side here. I am going over some seams that are open, but I can see my sewing line a little easier here. See here, you can see. Let me just show you. That's I'm going over those double seams there, okay? And you have to be real careful that you don't, cut anything you don't want to cut. Let me do this. Try to do it nice and neatly. And then I'm going to go over to the ironing board and iron my ties a little bit and attach them, iron them a little bit, and then I'm going to be attaching them. So do a little more sewing, and for the pattern they have you do a buttonhole for where the strap feeds through, the tie rather, and instead of that, I think I'm gonna try it on and see where it fits, and I'm actually going to make just a little opening in the seam this waistband here to feed it through, because my size tends to change quite a bit and I want to be able to adjust it. So I think instead of a buttonhole, I'm just gonna see where, I'll kind of like do a little opening in the seam here, and I'll reinforce it probably. That way, if I have to make any changes, I go down several pounds or something like that, because I tend to fluctuate, then I can just change that. So my specialty is sewing for plus size, and you know, dealing with weight fluctuations and things like that, and you know, what are the best patterns for plus size, and if you have like a lot of weight fluctuations, you know, the best type of patterns to do. Now, wrap skirts are really great because they're forgiving, you know, so you can be in quite a few different sizes. So I can be anywhere from a size 16 to a size 22 and ready to wear. Right now I'm up, my weight is up and my size is up, but I'm finding with patterns you have to go way up. So it's better to just take your measurements and then look at the size chart. But you know, I mean, this I cut out as a size 26 just to give myself plenty of room, which was like the largest size, because actually right now, because I'm a menopausal woman, I carry a lot of my weight in my stomach, which I never did as a young woman, but anyway. I need the room there. Okay, so that is done. I'm not going to do any clipping. And it looks like, you know, it's finished pretty nicely. I haven't pressed it or anything. I'm gonna be adding the the ties to this, and I'll try to bring you along. Okay, have a great night. Hello again, everyone. I know this is quite tedious, but I'm sitting here and I am actually pinning. Oh, actually, I think I'm gonna use my tool here to get my corners out first. And this is the long piece, so I want to get those corners out. So I'm just kind of like feeding it in here and pushing here on those corners because I want them to be nice and neat. It actually works better than a pin, using a pin. That corner is fine, but this one. And I did trim those corners before I turn this piece inside out. You know, I trimmed it here, and then I trimmed it crosswise there, so I can get a nice point. So that looks good enough. I'm finding with ironing this that if I could put a ruler in it, that would make it much easier, but it's not quite wide enough. It's not quite an inch wide. So I'm putting like a pin in about every 1.5 inches, and I'm just like rolling the edge. And then I put a pin in, so when I go to iron it, it will, you know, it is flat. So just doing that. I did the other piece. I'm going to do a little more ironing. A lot of sewing is doing these little tedious steps because you get a, you know, more professional result if you take the time to do that. So I will be ironing that, and then I'll show you how I will be attaching these ties to the skirt, and that's going to be the next step. So we'll just finish this, do a little more pressing, and we'll get back to you. Alrighty. Okay, hello, Maggie again. I am stitching the tie end in into the waistband. It's this step right here, which is step 8, where you put it on the outside, you know, the left and the right. Okay. I did do a little chalk line so I could see, you know, make sure it's lined up good. Because I want it to match up right here perfectly. So let's see if I have it just right. Excuse me. I'm gonna do a knot, for a little knot first, a couple of stitches, and let's stay on that white line there. And I'm gonna back stitch and cut. Alright, that's the first step. I'm doing this in 2 steps. Now I have to fold the waistband over and go back the other way. And I want everything to line up nicely. So let's see how we're doing so far. Okay. That's not too bad. It's not like perfect, but it doesn't look too bad. Now this is the short end, so this is going to show on the front of the skirt. So I think that's sufficient. And I actually might carry that. If you can see this seam right here, I might like carry that right up there once everything is all put together. So now what I have to do is fold the waistband over and encase that. So I'm gonna have to pin it good. Okay. Okay, so I have this all pinned together. As you can see, this is the other side. Actually, I better put another pin in here. That is folded under. I had to do it a little more than 1/2 inch because I want everything to line up just right, and there's a little excess there. So, whoops, ouch. We'll pin this. Put lots of pins in here, right? Okay, I think I got that. So this is the waistband, and this is the inside of the waistband. So let me fix that a little better. Now if I was like a super professional, I could do this in 1 step, but where I am an amateur, I'm doing it in 2 steps. Okay, so I already sewed the other side, sewed it in. It's lining up pretty good. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to stitch basically on the same line, same stitching line. Got to get in there. I want to go a little bit to the, I was a little bit shy there, so I'm going to go a tad in from the stitching line. So we'll just, I think what we'll do is some of these like fine points, you know, take a lot of finagling. So, okay, I'm going to do a little knot there. It's like 2-3 stitches, and then it's going to go. Okay, I'm trying to stay right on that same line. Okay, and then I'm going to back stitch and cut. Alright, let's see how this turned out. The other one didn't turn out great, and I might have to finagle that one a little bit. So let me see how this, and this is going to show, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And then, like I said, I'm going to stitch right here, continue that up. So once I get everything like all put together here. So that's what it's going to look like. Okay. If you can see it. Not too bad. I did want to mention that in the instructions it does tell you to cut this corner off so that you have like a, and to use a point turner to, you know, so that you have a good corner here. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to cut that off. Okay, pretty close to the edge there. And then let me see if I need to use the point turner. I might not even need to use it. And yeah, it gives you a little better finish there, a little closer to the edge. So, okie dokie. Okay, so what I am doing here, as you can see, this is the inside of the waistband here. Okay, here's my interfacing. You know, I trimmed that to 1/4 of an inch. And when this has, I did press that under 1/2 inch. So I'm going to be pinning that. I haven't decided whether I'm going to hand sew it. I do like to do some hand sewing on, you know, some of my projects, just for aesthetics. So I might hand sew it, or I might machine sew it. I haven't made up my mind yet. But I am going to start by pinning it, and then I'll make a decision. So you just pin this right to the, I'm using my fine pins, right to that seam line, and fold everything in. Okay, fold this in. This corner's a little bit bunchy there, because you can see that like sticking out just a tad, but you can just kind of ease it in there and give it a good pin. And as I mentioned, this is on the inside. Okay, so you just go along, fold under, and so on. I'm not gonna belabor it, but anyway, that's the next step. I just wanted to show you the inside of my skirt with the pins. So see, I have the finished, serged, finished seam there. And then I actually do think I'm going to hand sew this. I mean, very professional seamstresses can actually, you know, machine sew on the outside and get everything lined up perfectly. But I am not, you know, that professional. So, and I like hand sewing anyway, so it's something I can do just in front of TV, so I'm gonna do that. And my skirt is almost done. Hello. I just want to demonstrate the blind stitch. I'm gonna be finishing the waistband by doing a blind stitch. You can see the stitching line right here, okay? So I'm just picking up that thread, okay, and then I make one stitch, okay, until I get to a knot. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of like secure it with another stitch. Okay, and then you just slip the needle in the fabric here, and you go about, oh, however far you want to go, like that's about 2 centimeters, or a quarter, let's say 1/4 of an inch, okay? Go 1/4 of an inch. Okay, pull your thread through, and then grab another little can grab another stitch from underneath here. You can see it. It's kind of hard to see in this lighting. So you just grab one of those stitches, okay, and go right through again. Okay, I'm using kind of a big needle, which is getting caught on stuff. But that's how you do the blind stitch, and that's how I'm going to finish my waistband. We'll put this back in here. Alright, so this is the buttonhole foot for this machine. And I set it about this distance. I'm going to see if that's going to be appropriate for what I'm doing. So we're going to do a trial one. I have the right foot on here. So this just kind of like snaps in place. Let's see. I've got that up. Do I have that up? Okay. There. You just have to kind of finagle it in there. Put the presser foot down. Okay, and it snaps in place. It's in there good. Alright, I got my bobbin in there, hopefully. Alright, now I've got my sample. If it doesn't work, I'll be picking it out, which I'm not going to be happy about that, but okay, I have my line, so I can kind of use it there. Now let me see, do I have it where I want it? Yeah, let's see, let me put this. I think so. Okay, here we go again. And hopefully I'm going to use the line to make sure I keep this straight. Okay. Second one. It does like the outline first. So I thought about it, and I actually think I might use this as a beach cover-up that I can just put right over my black bathing suit, because just the way that it's turned out, I think it lends itself to that. Okay, now I got the message that it's completed, and to raise the presser foot. Actually, I'm going to cut it first. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, that's not bad. That's not bad. So I think we'll use that. I will be cutting it open. I'll show you how I do that. And then I can feed the waistband through it. Alright. Okay, hello everybody. Maggie here. I am back. I wanted to show you what I do when I am preparing a buttonhole, when I am actually opening the buttonhole up. here is my piece right here, and you can see the buttonhole there. Let's trim. First I want to trim this little string here sticking out there. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so I am gonna be cutting the opening in this buttonhole, and what I use is I put a little fray check over it so the threads will not fray. That's the first step that I do. So let me do that first. And I have this little kit that I use. I like using, you can use a seam ripper, you can use scissors, but I really prefer, so this will kind of like glue all the threads and prevent them from fraying. So you put that on first and you let it like sit for a minute. So you can see here. Okay, so I have my little, this is like a little tiny little cutting board, the shape of an apple, and I put it on there, the item on there, and then this is just like a little cutter tool. Okay, now I'm not at the best angle here, but I wanted to be able to show it. Okay, and you just get it right in the middle, and you give it a press, good press, and it cuts it. Okay, and I gotta move it up a little bit, get it right in the smack in the middle there, and give it a good press. Okay, and I think that gets it. Should get it, yeah. So there's my nice neat buttonhole. Okay. Okay, hi everybody. I just want to do like a little review of where we're at with this. So for step 10, the instructions are to turn the waistband in, press it, and stitch in the ditch. I actually hand stitched my waistband, that I pretty much skipped, well, that was how I did that step. So then we go to the next step, which is step 11, making the buttonholes. We did the buttonhole. Okay, I did it a little bit to the left of the seam, just because I didn't want to get it caught in the seam there. So anyway, so and then also if I go down a size, it'll still fit me and shouldn't make a difference. And so then the next thing is doing the hem. What I did was I actually serged the bottom of the skirt, and then I folded it in, and I'm going to try to do a blind hem. I haven't done one of those on my machine. I haven't done one of those in a long time. So I have a nice neat serged end in here, if you can see it. That's the serged end, and it's folded in, and we're going to try to do a blind hem, but I'm going to do a practice one. So this is all prepared, and that's going to be actually the final step. So I'm going to do the sample first, and we'll see how that goes. And I've got my blind hem foot on, so I haven't tried a blind hem on this machine yet, so we'll have to see how it goes. Okay guys, Maggie here. So what I have decided is that I tried doing a blind hem with this machine. I actually might hand sew the hem, but the pins are a real problem anyway. So what I am going to do is I'm going to just baste this so I don't have to use pins, and then I can take the basting out with a really long stitch. It's like 3.2, so that should be easy enough to take out. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, so I won't have to deal with pins. And I may try the blind stitch with this basted hem and see if that will do the trick. Otherwise I will hand sew it. I have never been very good at doing machine blind hem, and this fabric is really not the right choice for that. Whoops, and I just kind of went too far. I want to make sure I have like a margin there for folding under. If I try the blind hem. So I'm putting that edge right up to the, because you have to fold this back when you do the blind hem. Well, that doesn't look like a basting stitch to me. That does not look like much of a basting stitch. Huh. Hello everybody, Maggie here. I wanted to show you my finished skirt that I am happy about. I would make a few changes with the design. For the overlap here, the next time I would interface this, that would be my lessons learned on this, because I feel like this edge is too wimpy for this particular fabric anyway. Maybe if it was like a denim it would be okay, but the next time I would just extend the pattern and have this fold over so it's a, you know, more substantial edge there. That is my main critique that I have. Other than that, I like the shaping in it, and you know, I'm happy with the overall design, and you know, it was an enjoyable sew. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with my journey, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.